Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn 5 life lessons from this book, Man's Search for Meaning, written by Dr. Viktor Frankl. Dr. Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist and he was a Holocaust survivor. Before we get into the 5 wonderful life lessons from this book, let us spend some time learning about what the concentration camp was. I want to explain the condition of the concentration camp to people who have never heard or read about anything related to the concentration camp. So suppose there is a room in which you can occupy 250 to 300 people. In a concentration camp, in that same very room, 2,500 to 3,500 inmates were dumped. When a person reached the concentration camp, the guards would take away his clothes and they would give him the clothes of a previous inmate who did not survive the camp. So the food they got for a day was a small piece of bread and some watery soup. And the work they had to do was very, very exhausting. They were physically tortured and mentally tortured. If they became physically weak, they would be sent to gas chambers where they would be gassed to death. So you can just understand the state of the concentration camp. What these inmates saw every single day was torture. Every day from morning till evening, they saw people dying. They saw heaps of dead bodies lying all over the camp. They saw heaps of bodies being carried away in trolleys, and they saw weak people being sent to gas chambers. So you can just imagine the mental torture that is accompanied by the physical torture. They never knew when this torture would end. So this is the state of the concentration camp. I know my explanation does not give complete justice to the real condition of the concentration camp, but I hope that those who have never heard of the concentration camp would get a glimpse, idea of what a concentration camp condition really looks like. So with the backdrop of the concentration camp in our mind, let us look at the 5 wonderful life lessons from this book. The first life lesson is, in any set of circumstances, a man can choose his own attitude. This is such a wonderful life lesson. Dr. Viktor Frankl says, the kind of person a prisoner became was a result of his inner decision rather than the condition of the camp. So you could be in any condition, you could be facing anything in your life, you could be facing many problems, you could be going through many difficulties, but your attitude is dependent not on the situations around you, but your attitude is dependent on the decisions that you're making within yourself. So next time you blame someone else, you blame your parents, or you blame your school, your college, your government, your country, or anyone for the attitude you have, remember this: you are responsible for your own attitude. The second life lesson we are going to learn from this wonderful book is, if there is meaning in life at all, then there is meaning in suffering. If we have to go through suffering and if we have to come out victorious, the first and foremost thing is we need to have meaning in our lives. Dr. Viktor Frankl could go through all the suffering in the concentration camp because he had a meaning to his life, and the meaning was that he wanted to help people. And what is the way he chose to help people? Was he prepared a wonderful manuscript. He had the manuscript to logotherapy in his hand before he entered the concentration camp. But when he entered the concentration camp, the guards took away the manuscript from him. So it was his desire to come out of the concentration camp and rebuild the manuscript and build something that would really help thousands and thousands of people. So that was something that gave meaning to his life. So because he had meaning to his life, he had meaning in his suffering. So if you have to come out victorious during your difficulties, during a hardship, The first thing is that you need to have some meaning to your life. What is the meaning of your life? If you can answer this question, then whatever difficulties you might face, you will surely come out like a butterfly. The third life lesson that we are going to learn from this book is life means taking responsibility to find the right answers to life problems. Many times we ask the question, what can I expect from my life? But it should be the other way. Life asks you the question, what can I expect from you? So life brings in many problems. With life comes many problems. With life comes many difficulties. It's your responsibility to find the right answer. The fourth life lesson that we are going to learn from this wonderful book is the immediate influence of behavior is more effective than that of words. If you want to influence a person, rather than speaking or rather than giving a lesson, trying to teach them and preach, it's better to show what you want through your behavior, because your behavior has more influence, has more potential to have impact in the other person than your words. The fifth life lesson we are going to learn from this wonderful book is no man should judge unless he asks himself in absolute honesty whether in a similar situation he might not have done the same. So what Dr. Viktor Frankl says is, before you judge a person for anything he has done or for the way he reacted, ask yourself, if I was brought up in that similar kind of family, if I had that similar kind of financial problem, would have I not reacted the same way? Would have I not done the same thing? I'm not saying that we need to accept everything everyone is doing or we need to justify what the other person has said, but before you judge, ask this: would have I done the same thing in that similar situation? So I hope these wonderful 5 life lessons have been useful and have brought up an interest in you, a fire in you to start reading this book. So this book by Dr. Viktor Frankl, A Man's Search for Meaning, is such a wonderful book, and you need to read it. Once you read it, when you start reading it, you will experience a different perspective in your life. So thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you again.